Today, we're gonna have a look at the brand new dungeon, the Phantom Shogun. I didn't really have a chance to cover it in a video, guys, but I'm gonna showcase you a couple of teams that can speed farm the dungeon. And yeah, I didn't really wanted to cover it in a video straight away because I wanted to see if you guys are actually interested in the dungeon, right? Like, when you are ascending accessories, for example, you're not really getting that much value like from artifacts. So overall, the Sand Devil Necropolis should be the main priority for all of you guys out there, unless you're a Kraken who farmed enough Sand Devil's Necropolis by now and it's time to move to the new dungeon. Basically, they buff the rewards on stage 25, basically on all the high stages. They increase the amount of lesser extract or lesser oils that you can get from both of the dungeons, which is great. It's kind of like justifies it now, so we don't have to farm stage 7 or any other lower stages in order to get our small oils. So that's a great thing. Now, when we are talking about this particular dungeon, guys, Magic Affinity on stage 25, we do have Ganut, which is an amazing fusion, but unfortunately for stage 25, he will be weak affinity. So we're gonna have to come up with different things. Acrisia is not going to work here because the boss locks all the passives. So all the old school teams that we were kind of like using for most of the dungeons won't really work in here. Geomancer, for example, is not really going to be a viable option for this boss either, mainly because the boss will have a lot of single target hits, and on top of it, it's going to lock the passive. So Geomancer's passive is going to become irrelevant. Now, I do want to give a massive shout out to my free-to-pay buddy Chester, who actually kind of like came up with the team that we're gonna showcase today, guys. So head over to his channel, drop him a subscribe, drop him a like on the video. I'm gonna link his channel in the pinned comment. He does tons of awesome free-to-pay content. He actually managed to win Platinum Arena last week, or was it this week, as a free-to-pay. So it's definitely an awesome thing. He managed to get a #1 home. Chester is actually a good buddy of mine. But basically, if we're gonna head over back to the game, so I'm gonna show you a couple of different concepts, a couple of different teams. This one right here is gonna be probably the most obtainable for the majority of you guys out there. If you have a ninja, it's great. If you don't have a ninja, you're gonna need to build another Cold Heart or maybe a Royal Guard. You're just gonna have to tank up the champions. Unfortunately, I don't have a Royal Guard tanky enough to get the hits. The boss is gonna kill my Royal Guard if I'm gonna use him. He's pretty squishy. Like, these stats are just not good enough for my Royal Guard. You see, very low HP, very low defense. He's gonna get obliterated. What you are looking to have on your champions is something very similar with Cold Heart. 3.k defense, 40k plus HP. That's what sort of stats you need on your champions in order to survive here. Now, I would probably advise you farm the Sand Devil's Necropolis, ascend the gear, get extra stats, then move over to this one, you know, because how I mentioned, the main thing that you want to get from here on your heroes is getting the accuracy or resistance on the banner, and of course getting the crit damage on the amulet, and then if you want to get attack for the rest of your heroes, you know, and a bit of extra HP for a Taras, for example, or for Marichka, but that's something that mainly just the Krakens will do, you know. So these are kind of like the stats that you need to have on your DPS champions. The build that I have on Ninja, guys, is actually for the Sand Devil's Necropolis on Affinity Breaker because I'm using him with Godseeker and Eerie. And then I have Pythian, I have a Husk. Husk is in Relentless. I am using him for a Hydra Clan boss, and I have Mitrala. Now, the strategy here is that Mitrala is going to have the highest crit damage, so she's going to take the first hit from the boss. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to be able to play it around either like this, or I'm going to show you with a Taunt champion. Now, I have only Duedan available on my account. I feel like the Fusion one is going to be better because the skill is on a 4-turn cooldown, and that's kind of like what you want to have. And on top of it, you don't have the counter attack like Duedan has, for example, just to mess you up. Now, if your team will fail, will be probably because you don't have high awakenings. So if you don't have awakenings on your champions, forget about this dungeon. Just don't stress with it for the moment because you're gonna get destroyed and you're just wasting energy. You're gonna open with the A1 on Pythian. You see he's pretty fast, 320 speed. Mitrala, 290 speed, and she has a lot of crit damage, survivability. I haven't really went crazy with the accuracy or anything like that. I kind of like supposed to put her in the lead to land a couple of poisons, but basically you want to prioritize the A3 but open with the A2. Very important, and try to follow the speeds because if not, that's going to mess up the tune. 6-star Cold Heart, very important. Use the A3 to prioritize that. If not, she's not gonna use the right skills. Ninja, prioritize the A2. And Husk, we're gonna prioritize the A2 first, then the A3. We want him to use the A3 as well, not just the A1, because we cannot provoke here. But let's actually jump in a run. This is not the fastest time with this team, but what I'm gonna show you with the other team, the one that I'm using, is the actual super speed farm, and that uses kind of like juicier champions. You know, you have a Cardiel in there, you have different things. I just wanted to show you that you can do it with Pythian, you can do it with Mitrala, you could possibly do it with champions like Raiho Bone Spear instead of Mitrala or instead of Pythian, because they're kind of like doing the same thing. Cleanse on a 3-turn cooldown, you have a massive heal. You could potentially do it with other champions too, like Elva, for example. The only thing that I don't like about Elva is that she brings in the increased speed, and that kind of like messes up all our mojo, you know, and I don't like that, you see? That's why we prioritize the skills like this on Mitrala, to make sure we're gonna have the cleanse available for that particular turn. And you see, my counter on the boss is going pretty high because I have no blessing on Pythian, so that costs me quite a bit, you know, like it's already at 20, and slowly we gotta make sure we're getting it done. But this was exactly 1 minute. Pythian doesn't have War Master either. If I would put more accuracy on Mitrala, put her in the lead just to land a couple of poisons, this could be a bit faster. I do have Brimstone on Ninja, which will turn out to be very, very essential, very important if you want to speedrun this. Husk has Crushing Rend, not a big deal here. Probably Cruelty will be more beneficial for him, honestly. And I have Phantom Touch on Cold Heart because I'm using her in the Fire Knight. So this is one of the teams, guys. If we're gonna have a quick look, for example, at a different one. So this is kind of like the same concept that I'm using with Cardiel instead of Elva. But I'm gonna show you that you can do it with Elva as well if you don't have a Cardiel, for example, if you have a Kymar. And do it on the Runic, basically places a taunt buff on the champion for 1 turn, and then places a strengthen and a counter attack buff on himself. Now, this counter attack is annoying. How I mentioned, different taunt champions will be better. Basically, with the A1, he has a chance to cleanse, so this can come in hand pretty nice. I don't have a blessing on him, so that costs me quite a bit too. I do have a 4-star on Elva, which kind of like makes up a bit for it, but I do prefer it with Cardiel, just because of more healing, and we have the ally attack, and basically we're going to be able to do this faster. Now, you need a speed lead, or you need a very high speed on your taunt champion if you want to make a team with the taunt champion. The boss has 350 speed on stage 25. You heard it right. 350 speed. So this is not something that new players can do. Okay? Not at the moment anyway. So I have exactly 333 speed on him. With the lead, I'm gonna get roughly 252 speed if I'm not mistaken, or 251, so I'm gonna take my turn right before the boss. Now, this team will have a preset as well. It's gonna be pretty important to make sure you have the right preset. Elva opens with the A1. You don't want to cleanse directly, you want to cleanse only after the boss transfers the debuff to the entire team. Kymar is gonna open with the A3, Ninja the same, A2. He's gonna open with the A3, and this is gonna be the priority. You want him to prioritize that skill. I wish this would be on a 4-turn cooldown because we wouldn't have any issues whatsoever in the run. Sometimes he might use this skill right before the boss uses the skill that needs to be taunted with, basically, and it does get a bit more tricky, more dangerous in the run, but it's still not a problem. So let's do around with this team, and then I'm gonna show you the next team, which is my favorite for the moment. I managed to get 37 seconds with that one. So you want to start with the enemy max HP, refresh with Kymar. You see, now we cleanse. Now we want to get in the cleanse. 16 turns right there. Cold Heart is dropping it. And I'm going to tell you a thing that I hate about this boss, and I do think Plarium needs to fix because it's so unfair. Like, it's honestly so unfair. Basically, when you have the new debuff on one of your champions, what's happening is that your Cold Heart, for example, has a 4 hit on the A1, right? And when you hit the boss while you have the debuff on, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna bump his counter up by 8 for each one of the hits. So Cold Heart has 4 hits. You're gonna bump the counter on by 32, which is crazy. Now, when you don't have the debuff on and you're trying to decrease the counter and your Cold Heart has 4 hits, it's not gonna work in the exact same way, because you're not gonna decrease the counter by 32. You're only going to decrease the counter by the level of your Ascension for the entire skill. So it doesn't matter how many hits you have. So it's kind of like a sneaky thing, like you punish me, but then you don't give me the benefit of using champions with multi-hits and high awakening, because you're only gonna knock down 6 numbers from the counter, but you're gonna increase them by 32 instead of 8, basically, you know. So that's a very, very bad thing. I don't like it. So this team right here with Kaimar, 55 seconds. Elva, Ninja, Duedan, Cold Heart. You can use, for example, a Husk instead of Ninja. Now, the thing is, because Elva brings in the increased speed, it's gonna be pretty annoying. The main reason is because Husk has a double hit on the A1. And if we're not gonna have a Brimstone, if we're not gonna have another champion with a 5-star awakening like Ninja in my team, I wish I would have a 6-star Husk or a 5-star Husk, or have a 3-4-star Duedan, and that would make up for it. But basically, when I'm running it with Husk, what's happening is I'm actually gonna show you so you can see what's happening. So that's gonna be easier. So I'm gonna remove Ninja just so you guys can see how it's gonna play out, and we're gonna put in Husk, and you're gonna see what's happening. So it's not 100% win rate like this in this format with Huskin, and mainly because, how I mentioned, sometimes Duedan is gonna use the taunt 1 turn early, and the boss is gonna attack a different champion. And when we have the debuff on all the team and Husk uses the A1, and because we don't have so many high awakenings now, how I drop Ninja, the team will fail because of it, you know. And how I explain you, multi-hit champions will increase the counter for every single hit, you know. So that gets really, really dangerous. You see how high is the counter now compared to when we had Ninja in the team? Okay, we got a cleanse in there. Now he's at 47. So basically, just not having enough high awakenings will put you in a bad spot. So you see, it's literally max the counter on, and bang, the team goes down. You need to have high awakenings as well. And the thing is, with Elva putting increased speed, is kind of like messing herself up, because she's kind of like changing when she's using the cleanse. So you're not gonna be able to keep the cleanse in tune, and that's what's gonna happen when you run this team and you don't have high awakenings. If you have high awakenings, you're gonna be fine. I'm just showing you guys so you know what exactly it will happen when your team will fail, so you don't actually have to even ask me, because you already got the information. Now, my team, the free-to-pay team, how I like to call it, Cardial. Again, Cardial is gonna have a very similar preset. I don't know why I'm keep backing in and out when I need to show you the presets, guys. Apologies. But basically, I'm gonna open with the ally attack on him, and then I'm gonna prioritize the A2, you know. And that's about it. The rest of the champions, they have the same sort of presets. And of course, I do have refresh accessories on Kaimar. I have refresh accessories on Ninja. The more often they proc, the faster I'm doing the run, basically. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, you know. And this is literally melting the boss here. Like, this is not messing around. It's literally melting the boss. Now, if you would have a Ganut, and if Ganut would be the right affinity here, my god, instead of Cold Heart, it will completely wreck the boss, guys. Like, insanity. Let me just put it like that. You see what it means to have high awakenings on your team? Look at the counter. You see, literally on 0 pretty much for the entire run, and bang, 40 seconds, just like that. This is such a nice team, man. Love how Ninja is so powerful on this boss, for example. I know a lot of you guys cannot get Ninja, unfortunately, but you can try a Krognam, for example. If you're patient enough to do your referral account, use that champion in here. He's gonna do an awesome job as well, 100%, because here Ninja doesn't actually deal raw damage. It's mainly from the HP burn. So if you're gonna be bring Krohnami here, you're gonna get a very, very solid result as well, 100%. So he's the second best option. Bring in a Cold Heart, Krohnami instead of Ninja, and probably you're gonna get maybe 4 or 5 seconds on top of what I have here, and it's still very, very fast, you know. There we go. Now my Kaimar is built for arena here. It's not really the right champion to get the job done. But there we go. This was 51 seconds. Let's do another run here, and I'm gonna show you the champion that I was mentioning, just in case if you're new to the game and you're wondering like, Skratch, I can't understand your filthy accent. I have no idea what name you just said in there, so please show me the freaking champion. I'm gonna show you the champion. Not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. I want to see when refresh accessories proc on Kaimar and I'm gonna get to use the A3 back-to-back, how fast I'm gonna get to do this dungeon. It's gonna be like, what, 30 seconds? It's gonna be less than 30 seconds. Most probably. Just imagine, enemy max HP, enemy max HP, enemy max HP, and Ninja just melting with the HP burn 3 times in a row. It's gonna be pretty damn crazy. A reflex Kaimar would be nice too, and just block the A2. 39 seconds. How I mentioned, the best time I've got was 37 seconds. I'm gonna show you some of the builds quickly, but first, let me show you the champion that I'm talking about. So if you head over to your referral program, you see I have 3 referrals that I've created myself through BlueStacks. The link is in the description down below. You can do this as well. I actually have tons of different guides. It's pretty easy to get it done. You're gonna get to collect all these rewards. Now, once you're gonna get 6 referrals done, which will take you roughly around 2 months, you're gonna collect the fragments for this champion, Krohnam. And this champion does a very similar thing with Ninja. No, he doesn't have the same passive, but basically, he's gonna detonate the HP burn. So each hit has a 100% chance of instantly activating any HP burn debuff on each target, heals the champion for each HP burn activated by this skill. You place HP burn with this skill, and you increase the duration of HP burn with this skill. So basically, you're gonna melt the boss in a very similar manner. How I mentioned, it might not be as fast as Ninja. Probably it's gonna take you 5 to 10 seconds extra, but he's gonna do an awesome job, and he's the second best option after Ninja. Now, if we're quickly gonna have a look at some of the stats on the champion. So recently used first, this is my Ninja. How I mentioned, I am using him in the Sand Devil's Necropolis, guys. Affinity Breaker, total stats, 54k HP, 5.6k attack, 2.6k defense, 259 speed, full crit rate, 200 crit damage, 546 accuracy. Now, you don't need to have these stupid stats on him, okay? Mine is +4, he's a 5-star awakening, so his stats are just off the charts right now, okay? If you're looking at Chester's build on the video that I've told you to go and check out, free to pay content from Chester, you're gonna see that his Ninja is rubbish, okay? And those stats work just fine, basically. I called you out there, Chester. And when we are talking about masteries, guys, I do have War Master on him, and I do have support. You need to have almost 600 accuracy. So 550 plus accuracy in order to be in a safe spot with this boss on stage 25. The stats are pretty crazy, pretty intensive, you know? Then I have Kaimar. This is just my arena Kaimar, honestly. It doesn't really matter. You see the stats, pretty slow. He just has some survivability. I had to change some of the gear on him to make him a bit slower because he was a bit too fast. Cardial, this is the Cardial that I'm using in the Fire Knight as well. So I have him with Cruelty. It's a 5-star blessing on him, so that means quite a bit when I'm using him on the new boss. You've seen the counter is at 0 on my team almost all the time. He's just on triple speed sets, 64k HP, 3.2k attack, 3.8k defense, 318 speed, 99 crit rate, exactly how I love it, 157 crit damage. So I actually had to drop some damage for survivability, you know. And masteries, offense and support 3, lasting gifts, and of course we have War Master as tier 6. Then the next champion is Duedan the Runic. You just need him fast. So how I mentioned, you want to make sure he's over 251 speed. Then he's going to take the turn first, and he's going to get the job done. These are the stats: 64k HP, 3.7k defense, 333 speed. You don't need accuracy, you don't need resistance whatsoever. I had a triple speed accuracy banner, and I gave him that just to don't struggle with the speed, basically. But accuracy is not gonna help him with anything pretty much. And what makes him good is the taunt, because you don't need to build a champion with very high crit damage to trick the boss. And it's annoying the counter attack because he attacks one enemy with the A1, you know, and yes, it does have a chance to remove a random debuff from all allies, but the counter attack is going to increase the counter, you know, by 8 every time he counter attacks. So a different taunt champion would be better. And masteries, no masteries at the moment. I didn't have a chance to get them done for him. My Cold Heart, double perception, and we have a Defiant set. And total stats, 42k HP, almost 43k, 2.9k attack, 3.5k defense, 265 speed, 75 crit rate, 190 crit damage, 300 accuracy. And this is the Cold Heart that I'm running on the Fire Knight. And of course I have Giant Slayer on this one, and I have support masteries just to gain some extra accuracy. The next champion will be Elva, guys, just triple speed set, 65k HP, 3.8k defense, 327 speed, no accuracy, no resistance. Masteries are actually offense and defense 3, so we have War Master as tier 6. Husk, just my Hydra Husk, relentless. These are the stats on him. And masteries, War Master, pretty much what matters. Then of course we have Mitrala, a speed set, double crit damage, just to get a very high crit damage on her to trick the boss, because we're now using a taunt champion. So you want to have her with the highest crit damage, and we have 289 crit damage on her, 63k HP, 3.9k defense, 291 speed. I don't think you necessarily need her so fast, honestly, because you're still gonna be overlapped by the boss, you know, so it's not a necessity to have her that fast. Extra accuracy would help to land some poisons on the A1. Higher Awakening will help, of course. If you're not using her for Arena, definitely go with Brimstone. Masteries, offense and support 3. I actually changed the masteries for a previous video that I've done on the Scarab King, actually. So War Master, you can keep them like this, especially if you don't use her in a arena. And then Pythian as the last champion, guys, triple speed set as well, and these are his total stats: 76k HP, 3.6k defense, 325 speed, no resistance or anything else. Basically, what I like about Pythian is his passive, which is not gonna be good on the boss. So none of the passives actually work on the boss, you know. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, because a lot of times you might forget about it and you're gonna go in and be like, okay, passives, I'm gonna get so many benefits from this. No, this boss completely negates every single passive when you have that debuff on. So basically, a 3-turn cooldown cleanse, block debuffs. Block debuffs are not really gonna be as important, but they can help. You're gonna get the extra healing from there. Revive and strengthen, 50% turn meter. That's gonna be nice in case if you're losing anyone, and you're gonna get heals from the A1. A Raiho Bone Spear is gonna do the job without a problem. And masteries on my Pythian, defense and support 3. I haven't changed the masteries from the previous build that I just had before, which was kind of like more for arena. But that was all for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited about the new dungeon? Have you tried it yet? You don't really care about it. You're not gonna bother with it for a while. If you are, what sort of team you guys are using? Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.